Welcome to the 10th episode of Concrete Injection Made Easy podcast. Wow, what a milestone! I'm thrilled this project has come this far. The overwhelming positive feedback I've received is supercharging me to move forward and provide more content to benefit you, my listeners. Today's episode is especially interesting because it goes beyond the technical level and shows the importance of having an attitude that encourages personal and business growth and development. In the episode, I talked to Hamid Sohrabi, a project manager of SCI Group from Iran. He is a fantastic example of the importance of bringing a growth mindset to concrete injection and to business more broadly. A growth mindset, as opposed to a fixed mindset, is about having a desire to learn new things versus fear of new experiences. Embracing new challenges versus shying away from difficulties. Seeking out new information, even at the risk of appearing inexperienced versus staying stuck within your limited comfort zone. It's also about being willing to take a risk because you believe failure is an opportunity to develop. It's about persistence in the face of setbacks and seeing effort and obstacles as a path to mastery. Hamid's experience in sealing a challenging leak is a perfect example of approaching a concrete injection job with a growth mindset. In the episode, he describes the challenges and specifics of the job and the extraordinary steps he had to take, including new things he had to be willing to try in order to overcome those difficulties. His story is fascinating both on a technical and personal development level. Thanks to Hamid's growth-oriented approach, he was willing to seek out support, optimize his strategy in the face of new information, and take decisions that turned a challenge into a huge success. So tune in, subscribe, and leverage this podcast to move you forward on your journey of personal and business development. Hello, Hamid. How are you doing today?
Hi, Matthias. I'm fine. Everything is okay. And thank you for connecting me for this conversation.
Are you serious? You got a huge and great story to tell to all of us. So, when I realized that you are preparing for this job site, I already knew that I would love to have this conversation. So thank you very much for finding your time to spend this almost hour with me and discuss this job site. So, all right. I'm in Warsaw, Poland. You are in Iran, but where exactly?
Yeah, I am now in Tehran, the main location, the capital of Iran, and we have some projects here. But our main projects are located in the provinces, like in south of Iran, in north of Iran, and in the west of Iran.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you travel a lot to get to your job sites.
Yeah.
Okay. Around 2.5 months ago, I guess it was more or less this amount of time ago. You mentioned on LinkedIn that you are preparing to inject into the tunnel to make it watertight. Can you tell us a little bit about the project, and then we will step by step discuss the preparations and later execution of this injection itself. So what was the problem? Where is the tunnel? If you could, tell us a little bit about this project.
Yeah. 2 months ago, one of my friends called me and told me there is a project, a tunnel project that is located in the west of Iran. It's a water transfer tunnel. The length of tunnel was more than 10 kilometers, and they started this project more than 5 years ago. there was lots of problems in this tunnel because the location of this project was located on a fractured area. There are loose material in the line of the tunnel, and when he called me, they have a huge problem because during the excavation, they met a huge amount of water at that time, more than 160 liter per second.
Wow.
And the project
nice shower, right?
Yeah. And the project was stuck, and they called my friend, but he didn't have the exact material and the equipment. So he called me, and we had a meeting with the client, and they decided to send me to visit the project. We got there, and we take some photos and some movies. And as you remember, I sent some of them for you because we want to negotiate together and it's a good decision for this project. So the length of tunnel, as I told, 10,800 meters, the total length of the tunnel. At the length of 9 kilometers, 9,000 meters, this problem is occurred, and the outer diameter of the excavation is 3.7 meter, and the final diameter and the inner diameter is 3 meter. Because of this, it's a very bad situation for working because this tunnel is mechanized, and the TBM and TBM inside the tunnel. It was very, very close area, a small area, and it's too hard to work in it.
Yeah.
The capacity of this tunnel is the designed capacity is 5 cubic meter per second, and the length of segments is 1.2 meter. Area exists includes of 6 pieces of the segments, and the thickness of the segments was 20 centimeter.
So once again, the whole ring consists of 6 pieces, right?
Pieces, yeah.
Okay.
The universal one.
Yeah.
Not hexagonal. The universal, yeah.
How long this preparation phase, lasted? You were only once on the in the tunnel to see it before you started the injection, or how many times?
After visiting, the negotiations and the preparation of this project it lasts more than 2 weeks because we have to find an exact material. As we negotiate, I decided to choose MC Inject 2700, but we can't find it in Iran, so we decided to choose another one, the TPH Pure Stop FS. They are same, but in TPH material, with the amount of accelerator, we can set the setting time, and so it was very perfect for this project.
So yeah. Well, when the material allows you to add some subcomponent to set the time of reaction as you want, you are given another control over the injection process.
Yeah.
All right. One of the movie, or even two of them, but looking at the movie, I was looking for like injection packers, to imagine myself the steps you have taken in order to stop the water. Did you plan where exactly you are going to drill when you visited the place before you started, or you started to drill like, well, what will happen during the injection?
No, at the first, as we discussed together, I decided to drill some holes in the downside of the leakage area,
Mm-hmm.
because this material, when they it contacts with the water, it make some foams, and the foams goes up.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
when we arrived to the job site, we drilled more than 20 holes in the bottom, in the bench of the tunnel,
Mm-hmm.
but all of them were dry, because
So where is the leakage?
yeah, the leakage was at the top side of the tunnel, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
all of the drilled holes in the bottom, all of them were dry, and it's amazing for me. So then we discussed with the operator and the engineers in the site, and they told me the cutter head, because the leakage area uh, is near to the face of the tunnel, near to the cutter head. And I asked them, is there any pressure in the cutter head? They told me no. But uh, I told them, if it's dry, please open the cutter head. I want to check it. But when they started to open it, it's impossible, because uh, at that time we realized that the sensors of the cutter head has some faults, and
Mm-hmm.
they don't show. They doesn't. They
It
don't
didn't
show
show the
the.
exact situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We called some mockers, some mockers, and when they start to rotate rotate the cutter head, the huge amount of water comes out. And when we opened the chamber of the cutter head, we saw a huge amount of water comes inside from the both sides, left and right, and it shows that the it's not a one place for leakage. It's a line, it's a zone, it's a length of the leakage area of more than, I think, 20-meter length of the tunnel inside the saturated area.
Mm-hmm.
So in next day we decided to take out one piece of segments, the first one, because it's on the shield, but the tail of the brush of the shield of the TBM past the past centimeter. No, excuse me, 15 centimeter from the last one. So we decided to take it out, and when we took it out, we see at the top of the tunnel we have the gap, something like 15 centimeter gap in the top of the tunnel, and this gap is occurred because the TBM stacks more than 5 mounts, and cutter head goes down,
Mm-hmm.
and it cause of the it caused a big gap in the top side of the tunnel. So
So this gap, excuse me, I need to ask to check if I understand you correctly. So the gap was
yeah,
between the tubbings, yeah, the tunnel
yeah,
itself, the prefabricated parts of the tunnel and the drilled ground.
No, with the growth of that, it was injected between the segment and the ground.
All right. Okay. Mm-hmm.
The growth was there, but it has 50 centimeter of gap between the growth and
now I get you.
segments.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that location is located in the soft ground, gray and brown marl. It's so soapy and it's like mud. It doesn't has hardness. It's too soft. And after 5 months, the TBM was going down and everything is stuck.
Yeah. One of the movie shows that you and some your team members, I guess, because I've seen at least 2 or 3 people inside. You could see this cutting head. So you were already in this chamber. You discussed just 5 minutes ago. So you were exactly in this chamber. You could take some ground parts from between the cutting hedge. So this movie shows like you were in submarine, because after the attack, because there are some water leakages. You can see some steel and this device. Wow, a scary movie, really. So didn't you afraid, you and the other people, that something will go wrong and there will be a huge leakage that will fill with water all the tunnel within seconds?
At that moment, after when the cutter head was empty, we going inside immediately, and we took some samples from the face, and it lasts only 3 minutes, because after 3 minutes the water comes up and everything is going downside of inside the water. After 3 minutes, we have only 3 minutes, and after 3 minutes we immediately comes out and close the chamber, because it was huge amount of water. So after that, in this material, the pure stuff FS or MC Inject 2700, the final setting strength of the materials is so hard, and you have to avoid to inject the material inside the cutter head. After it, our main problem is how to inject the material and avoid to going the material inside the cutter head, because when it's transferred to cutter head, everything is stuck. They are not like silicate material. They are not like normal polyurethanes. So
MC Inject 2700 is a Duromar. So the compressive strength of the material is
90,
as I remember, 170 megapascals. Yeah.
No, 90 megapascals. Yeah, they are so hard.
Yeah, that's it. So if you glue it for good.
They use it's used for consolidation. In most of areas of application, it's used for consolidation of soft rocks and loose material.
Yeah.
But in this project, we need it for only insulation, not for consolidation.
Yeah, consolidation wasn't the goal. Absolutely. Yeah. So you seen it during the preparation process, and then you drill holes and there is no water. So what do you think? Like, oh my God, we didn't prepare ourselves good enough, or what was your first thought about this when you drilled this holes in the bottom and there was no water there?
We have,
Surprise.
yeah. It was so amazing, and we we have we had a lot of meeting there with the engineers, with operators, and some experienced people that they were there. But at the third or fourth day, we had a meeting, and we decided to remove a piece of segment at the first of the tunnel, at the end of the shield, to see the problem. So at the next day, when we get the key of the segment, we got it out, and when the huge amount of water comes out, and when we see the top, it was amazing, because as I told you, we saw a huge gap between the shield or segment and the growth, not the ground, because the growth that they injected inside, it was plastic growth, not consolidation growth. It was soft, and the tunnels in this long time, more than I think 5 months, the tunnel completely going downside, and it occurred a big gap between the growth and between the growth and the segments. Yeah. So it was so dangerous, because the segments, when they are rounded with the growth, they have capability to take the force of the ground. But when they are free, they are so dangerous. But we have a good chance, because the amount of water at the leakage area was released, and the pressure was released, and we have a good chance to inject and for working on it. So at the next meeting, we decided to take the steel plate at the leakage area, take it out. And because at the first day, I decided, I tried so many times to put some clothes, some slugs, and some wood wedges inside it, but the huge amount of pressure didn't let me to put this material inside it, because I think the pressure at the first day is more than 6 bars, and it's impossible to
install
put some
there.
wood or clothes in it. Yeah. And okay, then they installed some roll bolts around the leakage area, and they put a big plate on it.
The steel parts, yeah. I've seen on the picture and on the movie that there were screwed to the tubbings the steel parts. So I think it was
channels and the plates, channels and the plates on it. So I take out only the big plates. The area of the plate was half a meter at 1.5 meters. It's a huge plate. We take it out, and we put some old clothes and wire nets, tiny one, inside it, and we fill it. Then we put the steel plate on it again, and we started to put some old clothes around it for installation. Then I drilled, I think, 5 or 6 holes around it, and 3 or 4 holes inside the plate. Because the top was it's an open area, and or material doesn't have big form factor, so we decided to fill inside the net and the clothes only inside it with this material. And I think at day number 5 we started to inject this material. It takes 3 hours, and we used 250 liters of Puro Stop FS. 250 liters of Puro Stop, yeah.
Okay. In 3 hours?
In 3 hours, yeah.
Where did you put the pump? Where was the injection pump? Inside the tunnel?
Yeah, it is inside the tunnel, more than 25 meter at the back of the because we have the operator cabins and too many hydraulic pumps and too many equipment between the pump and the leakage area.
Absolutely. I've seen the movie, and there was absolutely not enough room to work, to have your equipment. So it wasn't easy. The tunnel, it wasn't metro tunnel, so it wasn't big in diameter. So this room wasn't too much to really work. So 25, at least 25 meters away, the pump. And so what was the pump?
It was a Graco pump. It was too old, but we repair it, and we changed it. Anything that to be changed, any part of it, and we use it. It was so good. The capacity of it, 30 liter per minute.
Wow. So this one was, this is a perfect pump for huge leakages, because you are able to pump really significant amount of resin per 1 minute, right? To stop the water. Yeah, that's it. How many compressed air did this pump really needed to pump?
We used the compressor of TBM, the TBM, because it was strong enough. The capacity of this compressor was 2.1 cubic meter per minute, and the pressure was 10 bars.
10 bars. All right. So this is it. Yeah. I use a compressor of 2.5 up to 3.5 in like different stuff from Atlas Copco, but and there's between 8 and 10 bars. So this is it, and my pump works perfectly with this amount of compressed air. All right. How many people work during this injection process?
All staffs were we are 3 people, but the workers of the TBM, more than 5 people, they helped us during this operation, and it takes 7 days for preparation for watching around the TBM. At the day number 7, we start to injection, and we stay there 3 days for checking the leakage and it was okay. And yesterday I called the operator. He said we started to excavation, and we are in the dry area now, and there are not
Unfortunately.
any. Yeah. Unfortunately, the work is started.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they are in a dry area, so they won't call you. I mean, yeah. Okay. Tell me. I've seen quite a injection packer installed in the hole of this tubbing. Can you tell us a little bit about what kind of packers, how many of them, and yeah, like what diameter? Yeah, something about packers.
The length of the packers was 20 centimeter diaphragm Desui. The inside, there are steel packers, but the huge one, the inside diameter of them, I think 10 or 11 millimeter.
Mm-hmm.
The inside diameter of them, and
outside diameter once again.
Outside was 18 millimeter,
all right.
but the inside diameter was
10 to 11.
10 millimeter. Yeah. We used 4 or 5 pieces of it around the steel plate, and 4 of them inside the steel plate. Totally, we used 10 pieces of it to manage this installation.
Only 10 pieces. Only 10 packers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you pump a lot of resins through each of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So after you drilled these holes and there was no water coming, how did you choose? Once again, if you could tell me exactly, how did you choose to where to drill?
When we took the segment out, we have the good vision from the leakage area because the top side was open. And we decided to fill the gap between the segment and the growth at the leakage area. So we know that we have to work just in the leakage area, because the other sides are so open and not useful to inject material in other places. So after this good vision, we decided to put some packers inside the leakage area and near to it, because the other sides are not useful. Because they are empty with the huge amount of free area.
All right. Okay, so let's discuss something about the resin, because we know the pump. This is 2K pump with around up to 30 liters per minute. So this is a huge amount of resin. So what kind of resin, meaning in the time of reaction, how did you set this? How much of this subcomponents did you put? Did you change the resin over time of injection?
Yeah, we decided to use the Puro Stop FS with its accelerator. When you don't use the accelerator in this material, the setting time, the final setting time is something like 5 minutes.
All right.
But when you use, you can choose some various amount of accelerator, but the maximum amount of the accelerator is 5% of component A, and because of this huge amount of water, we decided to use maximum amount of it. When you use it in the maximum amount, the setting time is something between 30 seconds to 45 seconds. It is so good. And when I started to injection, for example, from the downside, I think I saw a small amount of leakage of material from the downside of the plate, and we put some small clothes in it, step by step. And when it's closed, I changed the injection area from the downside to the upside, and for example, each of them 10 minutes or, for example, 15 minutes to injection and close the injection, because we have to stop to set this exact area, and we change it to another place. Totally, after 3 hours, it stopped completely, and everything was okay.
Did you come back to the Packer once again, like after some time, like after 15 minutes, you decide to come back to the Packer you have already injected to? No,
it was impossible, because the setting time was so high, and it had you didn't have enough time to, for example, coming back to one packer, because less than 1 minute everything is finished and you lose the packer. Because of it, I stopped, for example, 5, 10, or 15 seconds to put some clothes on the leakage area, and I started immediately, because I didn't want to lose my packers.
yeah,
Because
okay.
yeah, okay.
So this is there is one, if you use the pump that has one to one, so component A and component B, and there is another flash pump that allows you to clean the mixing head. You can use this cleaning agent to flush into the pucker. So the cleaning agent stays in the pucker and allows you to inject this over time, even longer than the pot life. So this is the.
I used it, but I used it because I didn't want to lose my mixing elements. I used the second pump. It was one component. It was electrical. It was at that time. It was an airless pump. It is not exactly for injection. It is an airless pump. I only used it to empty the line of the material in mixing element.
To clean the mixing head, yeah.
Yeah. But I didn't want to inject the solvent inside the leakage area, because I think it lasts too long, and I used it only for cleaning the line.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so around 10 puckers, around 30 to 45 seconds of the reaction time of the resin, right? And once again, 3 hours and 250 kilograms of resins.
Yeah.
Okay. And 7 days of the preparation just before you have started. What was the the most difficult during the injection process? Like, what was this point you thought, well, maybe it won't work? Was this, or you were sure during whole injection process that you will manage?
At first, the space was so small, and the working in it was so hard, because the inner diameter of the tunnel was 3 meter only, and the TBM were inside. There is inside the tunnel. At the first of the injection, our pump was so big, and when we bring it inside the tunnel with platform, we can't put it vertical because it's so high.
All right. So this
And
pump was great, but too big.
too big, yeah. And the distance between the pump and the leakage area is too long, more than 25 meters.
Mm-hmm.
And it's too hard to drill holes because, as you know, there is a water there, or equipments or drills are electrical, and we can't drill some deep holes because the drill bit is too long, and we can't take it and use it there. Mm-hmm. The water is so cold, under 4 centigrade, and everything it was hard there. Everything.
So yeah, actually, I wanted to ask about what kind of drills did you use? So electrical. Oh my God! So if electrical, at least like this batteries ones, or 20 or 230 volts. So which ones? Not batteries.
At the bottom there are dry areas, but at the top we can't use it. But after took the segment out, everything was released, and we put some plastic bags around it.
All right, I see.
Yeah, because we don't have battery one, and we don't have cordless one, and we use the normal Hilti drillers. Mm-hmm. So inside the plate, we use the oxygen to drill the hole inside the plate. But around the plate, we use the normal Hilti drillers, and we have a chance because the pressure and the amount of water was released, and so we can drill, for example, 5 holes around the plate.
All right. So it was necessary absolutely to remove this part of the tunnel to release the pressure, and so the water was coming through this big hole, and not from everywhere around. Okay. Can you tell me what kind of nipple on the Packer did you use?
We take all of them out because it doesn't let you to transfer huge amount of material inside it. I made a connection, and we used directly the hose inside the Packer.
Because
we didn't
I asked this question because I've seen on the movie the wire from the pump that was totally screwed to the Packer without any nipple in between. So
we don't have any nipple because we want to transfer huge amounts of material inside the Packer. Mm-hmm. When the injection at one Packer was finished, we take it out, and we fasten the nipple on it because we don't want to use it again.
In between, when you unscrew it to remove the pressure holes, so the resin was coming back, right, from the Packer?
No, but we closed it immediately, 1 or 2 seconds.
All right.
And when we take it out, we open the flash line to clean the
Okay. So actually no nipples because the inner diameter of the nipple is too
Yeah,
small, so it will
yeah,
take much longer to inject the same amount of resin
yeah,
into the
exactly.
pucker. Actually, yeah, I thought so watching this movie that you have done something like this. Great idea, by the way, because it really allowed you to inject the resin directly from the pump into the packer. What you wish you knew before you started the injection?
At the first, I have to thank you to you because the first thing in this kind of projects is team working, and we have to ask some experienced people like you to negotiate for negotiate about these projects. Then at these job sites, we have to we have to see the situation of the project by myself because some peoples there told us some wrong information about the
Yeah,
project. For example, they told me at the first day we haven't any pressure inside the chamber, but we took 2 or 3 days to find out that there is
there was a
pressure.
pressure there. Yeah,
There was a pressure, yeah. Then um, the safety in these projects. For example, as you told, we have to use some battery drillers, not normal drillers, because the safety it was so important. We have to use some good PPEs because there isn't enough space in these kinds of projects. We have to use good shields, good helmets, and good clothes, good waterproof clothes, because there was so cold and there isn't enough equipment for warming after
yeah.
after swimming, because uh, because we
And
have
they say,
to.
they say that in Iran there is quite warm. So
No,
only
this
only on the
was like
surface. Only on
at
the
that
surface.
area in the winter. It's snowing more than 4 meters at the winter. That area
Wow.
was so cold because
Okay.
there is located in the mountains.
I
Yeah.
see. I see. I see. I see. Um, what is the purpose of this tunnel?
It is the water transfer tunnel. It transferred the water from a river to the Ucham Dam. This dam is made for agricultural purposes in the Kurdistan area in Kurdistan province,
Hmm.
and the main carrier of the people there are farmers, and this tunnel bring uh, huge amount of water for these purposes.
Okay, so it's very important. I hope you will email me with the name of this dam and the location on Google Maps. So I will put this information on this note to this
Yeah.
podcast episode, so everyone could see from the space on the map where this dam is located, because I couldn't find it. I was looking for this and I couldn't find it, so I
Okay,
need
I will
I need
send it for
this
you. Okay, no
information
problem.
from you, so you know exactly where it is. Speaking about negotiations, because this is like for every single applicator, this is important. How uh, did you agree that you will be paid? You will be paid for the whole project, as it is watertight and this is this and that amount of money, or you are paid for like working hours and the resin being injected, or like what is the way of
Yeah, we negotiate with the client. We negotiated with our client. We set the agreement that it has two main issues there. We signed the agreement with the amount of the injected material, and too many contractors went there, but I told them if I can't solve this problem, I don't want even a penny. And so,
Wow, that
so
was
they choose.
risky. That was risky.
Yeah, yeah. But I was so sure about myself because I negotiated with my friends like you, and we choose correct material, the exact material, and the exact procedure of injection.
Yeah.
So because of my experience, because I have more than 15 years experience in underground construction, so so I decided to take this project, and uh, I have a chance, and I did it. So everything is okay now.
Yeah. Okay. So I told you, actually, I have commented on your post the other day that you announced us that you managed, the job is done, that your phone will call all night and all day because many people really realize that you are capable of solving this kind of situation. Was it the first project that difficult you have solved, or did you like what made you being so sure, so self-confident that you will manage to stop the water?
In 2004, we were in a freeway project in the north of Iran, and I was a beginner there. We worked on a single shield TBM, and we met a huge amount of water. I remember it was 14,000 liter per minute. 14,000 liter per minute.
Wow.
At that time, a group comes from Minova company, and they drill some holes. They use pneumatic packers, and they inject. It was finished at 5 hours. So,
Impressive.
yeah. So I remember it, and I think with myself, I thought with myself that if they can do it, so I can do it. Yeah,
Exactly, that's it. You've seen it, that you've seen what's possible. Yeah, well, you've seen what's
yeah,
possible.
yeah.
What was the most important thing? Like, if you were to point one most important thing that helped you to finish the project with this huge success, what was it?
I forced myself to do the problems, to solve the problems. I have to do it, and if you open your mind to ask some question from others, from experienced people, and negotiate with them. I told you, you have to do anything
Yeah.
if you open your mind.
Wow.
It's the main reason that we can do,
I love it.
because every brain has one thing, one solution. Yeah,
I love this answer. I love this answer. So you think that you will manage, then you look for the solution, you talk to other people, you ask some questions, you gain knowledge, and then you go and solve the situation. Perfect. I love it. I told you that I'm really happy that you've done it. It also, made me to understand the problem. I've seen movies. Myself, I'm visiting places like no one regular can go, in metro tunnels in the middle of the night, or in like strange places, really strange places, to see some leakages, problems, cracks, and so on and so on. So our job is not boring, that's for sure. But what you have done with this injection is really impressive. So many people were commenting on your post the other day, and I'm sure that many of us contractors around the world will have some questions to you when we are preparing ourselves to similar project in the future. So uh, I hope you will also find some time to help all of us to answer some questions. This teeny tips, like what kind of nipples? What nipples? No nipples. No nipples. They are not important. Actually, they are blocking you from injecting the resin in fast. So this is it. This is the knowledge, and this is the experienced guy. What will be your biggest tip around on this project to every single like me, company owner of this service injection company around the world? What would you recommend during the preparations and then during the execution of this injection in a similar project?
We have to ready ourselves for change. In this project, for example, we changed our way, we changed our route more than 4 times. There isn't any exact way to solve a problem. We have to meet it, and we have to ready ourselves for changing the way. And if we don't close our mind and our brain, we can solve any problem.
Wow. All right. I'm making notes, really. I'm making notes because this is absolutely great. It works not only in injection business, by the way. It works everywhere. If you have open mind, then you will succeed for sure. Okay. I hope we will have some questions from our listeners. Most of the questions comes directly to me on email or on LinkedIn chat. So I will pass these questions to you, because I really would like to have these questions being answered to everyone, because this podcast is to exchange knowledge, not only ask and answer questions, but exchange the knowledge. So yeah, that will be great if you find some time in the future to help me answer the questions from
It's my
the
honor.
listeners. Yeah. Thanks for the conversation.
Thank you very much.
Even though it's Saturday, and yeah, perhaps this is the free day you have to spend with the family and friends. So thank you for finding the time for me once again, and talk to you soon. And perhaps one day we will go together on a job site.
I hope.
Yeah.
I hope, my dear friend.
If there is another tunnel, call me. I would love to, visit your place, and even though if it's cold there in the tunnel, to see it with my own eyes. Have a great day. All the best, and talk to you soon.
Thank you very much. See you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
That was the conversation of the 10th episode of the podcast. I hope you like it. Please let me know what should be the next episodes about. Curtain injection, epoxy resins, sealing pipe penetration through the structure. Please share it, comment on it, and let me know, and I'll make an episode just for you. If you want to find out how to seal every single crack, please visit injectionrules.com and download my core principles for effective crack injection PDF file for free. Thanks for listening, and I hope you tune in next time.